Hello, hello, good evening. We've already got one chatter. So fast. Getting set up here. Hold up. Give me some chat. No active streams for. There we go. I'm going to test with a cat jam. I really want to violate the DMCA settings, you know? Just how I feel. If I want to play music. The fuck did I go? Hmm? I'm back. Alrighty then. Wow. What a day, huh? What a fucking day. We having fun yet? Right. What are we doing today? Good question. We're mostly taking it easy today. We're mostly chilling. It's been a long week. I've had a long week of responding to comments and chatters and doing tech support for the streams for the videos that I made. So um, largely we're recovering today, and it's been busy. I have a actual job, but the plan for me tonight is to stream about 2 hours, answer some questions, and fiddle around with the old lobby system that we used to do. And the old lobby system still works. It needs to be cleaned up. So that's what I'm going to do some cleanup. At least start. Clean up there. Hey, I followed the multiplayer tutorial you uploaded recently. Good job on that. It really helped me. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you for that. I'm all about helping people out there and kind of sharing, giving back what I've kind of built up. And if it helps, advance your skills, that's exactly what I want to hear. I just want to hear that people are finding it able to be followed and that it works for them and that the system gets you playing with your friends. That's kind of what we're all about here. And we have a lot of cool stuff we can add to it, improve. So let's start doing that. Same here. My concepts of P2P and server client really got solid. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, I've been doing this a long time and it didn't happen overnight. So if you're still fuzzy on a few things, don't worry. I've been fuzzy for 2.5 years. I've been doing this for about 3 years. So at this point, I was making a couple games and I was like, oh, kind of get how this works. I'm going to see if I can share how this works. But yeah, that's important to get those fundamentals solid. I've made all the mistakes before, all the confusing parts about RPCs, and I still get a little fuzzy when I've got a remote code, call instances to other machines over the wire. You can always get lost over the wire. But this system, the system I set up with the client authority and the server, and really helps you keep at least some of that straight. Okay, we've got a shader the next pass here. And this noise, it's way too, let's see, that doesn't work at all. I think it's not respecting, yeah, it's not using this shader at all. I wonder what that means. It's 500 by 500. What's the difference of using that tube plugin versus just raw Godot WebRTC? Great question. Basically, Tube has a nice shortcut for you that's a little unreliable, because what it does is it lists your lobby code on BitTorrent, which is an extremely strange, but honestly works okay. Let me tab over to my quick explainer. But once you do have that lobby code going and you're connected, you're no longer using any BitTorrent or anything, no traffic. It's just literally a few packets that you have to agree to exchange. So the difference is if you use the raw Godot WebRTC, which you are under the hood, you can basically skip over this step here where you agree to chat on a WebSocket server and say, hi, I am Andrew, and, hi, I am, and I can show you how this works, and the other one, and we both have to come to a single spot on the web somewhere. We have to agree to meet somewhere before we can then make the P2P connection. And so in this case, BitTorrent lists by the game ID. It says game IDs have these lobbies available. It's just like a little database in the cloud, and it's free, which is wild. And in the future, I plan to basically improve my system to be able to eliminate that part and just provide it a little bit more stable. But it's clever. And I have a lobby system in this project. And the lobby system does do a quick connect with the lobby codes as well. It's just not, yeah, it helps skipping deal with the lobby. Yep, that's all it does. And so you can see here I have my own basically WebSocket server deployed. And what this does is it will pull just these packets and create lobbies for you. So we say, here you are, get users, get lobbies, create lobby, join lobby, and then finally a whole bunch of under the hood WebRTC. This stuff is all happening in Tube. It's hidden from you guys as Tube users. I had to do this all myself, and then I found Tube, and I was like, well, they kind of did it a lot easier than I did it. So that's the best way to get going, this Tube. Now, is it reliable for like a production game? No, you wouldn't want to use that for like publishing your game permanently, because that's not something you can guarantee will be up. So if we say packet to JSON, signal parsed, I don't use this signal here. I wonder if I do in the menu. Do I have packet parsed? Yeah, I do. Render connection light. There it is, debug. Okay, so this is hooked up. And then all I have to do is turn this on. And what I'll show you here is my lobby system that I'm going to have to spruce up for you guys to use. I think it's not quite as, but I can say any user and do and I can create a lobby, and then I have these random usernames, and you can see all the packets. These are us agreeing to come to my website and say, I am connected, and it's a chat app, almost like Twitch chat, right? And I join, and then we have, hello, join, and we have, you know, I can't even type your name. That's a crazy one. But so now I'm going to move out of the way. You can see in this corner, you're going to see a ton of packets get exchanged. And this is how we make a WebRTC connection under the hood. And if you log out what Tube does, it does the same thing. Invalid bearer token. That's wonderful. Oh, there it goes. Cool. So now we can look at this payload here, and we can see every one of us decided to make a candidate where we think we can connect. Every one of us decided to make a payload for that, an index. And this is what does LAN punch through, or NAT punch through, sorry. And then we're in. Yeah. And you can roll all this your own. Tube is a little easier, but I'm hoping to make it keep making the lobby system. That's what I was going to work on tonight, actually. I thought I disabled the mouse on that, but maybe not. What's up, PC head? We're hanging out. We just hanging out. I was sick, yeah. I'm not feeling super great either. A little tired tonight. It's been a hard week at work. I've been having to work for money. And I've got to do that before AI takes all of our jobs. It's sad. Yeah, maybe you can just watch some YouTubes. That's what I do when I'm sick, is I just watch Twitch or just hang out. Yes, that's why I'm watching you, yeah. Hmm. Not really, just I'm looking at a couple of things to work on. And thus far, I haven't really decided. What's going to be the next part of the tutorial? How many total? Great questions. I have been so busy this week answering questions from people who are using the tutorial that I haven't had much time to think about the next phase, nor have I had time to stream. So I think I'm going to make a couple of more shorts first, and then I'm going to go into the deeper part. And we can plan a little bit right now. It's going to be a while for the next one to come. So if I go for the co-op template script, we can do part 3. What should we say? So high level pitch, make your WebRTC resilient. Enet relay. I'm still making character creation. Yeah, that's a tough one. And then mechanics. I think there's been a couple of people asking for things like picking things up. I think damage is a good one to cover more. I did do damage, but I think we should flesh out that a little bit. Make the targets move. One thing I was going to do, and I can pull this out of the other one. So I thought this would be nice. Oh, projectiles. Yeah, I think projectile. So basically, this is a game, a little arrow game from Valve that they made. Build the wall well, throw the players in the well, repeat, throwing players. Yeah. I don't know if that will do throwing players. It is extremely challenging because you need ragdolling, you need like better other player models. Like we could other player animations, player models. So I can do that. I have the ability to do that. Mesh to motion, it has some free ones here, yeah. I don't know that I mean, it might have been this one with I was just showing this. Where you go. This one, I don't know. It's real. There are pieces of this that we can do, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so few frames. I wonder what that's about. But I would think that I don't want to use that one. I want to do something with this so that we get humanoids, But that would be harder to throw because they're not ball-like. Because under the hood, this player character is actually a ball. So you can see all his mesh stuff. But if you turn off his skin, he's got a collision shape that's just a ball in there. For general animations, you can make sync animations out of network as singleton and then just paste node path along with animation name. Call it with RTPC. You could. I don't know why you need the node path. You've got multiplayer synchronizer. You can just choose animation player, current animation. Done. No, their collisions still happen. You can definitely get a little wonky with the ragdolling because I do have these bones. You can see the bones ragdolling. I think there's a way to actually, if you dig into this view here, these gizmos, you can turn off the, let's see, the bones or the joint. This would be joint. So physical bone 3D, there we go. That would definitely get rid of it. But you can see that he's got like a little bit of a collision shape there that's kind of like a ball. So when they're being carried, you know, it's kind of fun. We could actually play the game like this. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know what's going on with my frame rate. I feel like maybe I'm doing something bad in the background. That's strange. We'll do that. Yeah, my frame rate's really bad right now. So they have a pill shape that they use when they're not ragdolled, and that's pretty standard, is this pill shape. And then when I ragdoll, you can see that he's got all of his bones going. So you can also see our selection areas. So this is how I do selection. And that thing behind him that's kind of like following him around, that's like his camera and stuff. So, but you can now get a good look at that. So there you go. And then the other guy, you can restrict this, but he can always just press the button to unragdoll right now. And his skeleton's over there, right? That's pretty funny. But it doesn't collide when it's over there. And then when he re-ragdolls, his skeleton will catch up with him because we don't need to sync the skeleton if he's not ragdolled. This took a long time to get working, so I don't think it's in good scope for the actual tutorial series, at least not for part 3, because this took me, I don't know, a month. Not a month, like, just for this, but to get it, like, perfect. And then the other thing you can do here is you can drive this ball. So I can, if it stops, I can actually press forward and roll with some acceleration so you can drive it. And the camera kind of chases after his body a little bit. And that's just basically to smooth it out so you don't get totally screwed. But yeah, most things are disabled except essentially physics. And then when you're back in this mode, you're just in a normal capsule shape. Yeah, there's a lot of, that's a tough one. That's advanced topics, but you know, I can show it to you here because I don't have to dig into all the code that makes this work. And it's not that crazy, but you can see here when we have a number of collision layers, we adjust for every bone, we get all the bones and we adjust their weight and we dampen them, and then we set ragdoll and start the physical bone simulation. And I've done this in other projects. You can find part of this in the P2P WebRTC project because you'll recognize this lobby, and then these guys will ragdoll on death if you play this one. And this is in some other videos and stuff. So if you do need to see the ragdoll and how it works, it's in this player system here. It's the visual root system that I use, this player character script here. Let's see if it has ragdoll. See, the ragdoll isn't on this. It's actually on the Master Chief. I call it Master because it looks like Master Chief, right? Master scene. So the ragdoll here happens. Damn, this is complicated. Don't look at all this. Yeah, we have to call it RPC to stop and start the physical bone simulation, because you can't just like sync this. You have to actually start it on all machines. On master death, start simulation, turn off the animation player. Otherwise the animations will either blend or take over. And then I turn off shadow, I guess. That's fun. I think because this was like showing. Yeah, there's a lot to do here, but I think if we do a tutorial, we'd use like a humanoid because it's just something that more people want rather than that little Godot ball. It's cute and it works, but I think it's pretty limiting in terms of the number of animations you have. Oh yeah, that's sick. What's he doing? Dragon Ball Z. Halo may have been peak, and people just scared to face that fact. Yeah. So you also have to, which, Halo 4 campaign. Yeah, Halo 4, Halo Reach. I like the Halo Reach campaign a lot. That was a great campaign. That fucking shit had like space combat. Like, damn. I think Reach was probably the best campaign. I kind of liked Halo Infinite. I didn't play a whole lot of it, but it's definitely. Why am I disappearing? Hello? Excuse me. I have to turn on my big, like, streamer light, I guess. I'll be right back and get some water. Oh, Jesus. Oh, hello, hello, hello. First time chatter, it's Raymond. Hello, hello. Yeah, I mean, Halo was peak, I will say. You can play 3 and 4 players, but interesting. Yeah, the co-op changed a little bit here and there. Am I okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just I put in some eye drops. I don't know exactly what you're uh referring to, but maybe that's what you see. No, I'm just kidding. I put in eye drops. It's just a little dry eye. Like, I've got a heater under my desk because it's fucking cold in the DC area right now in the eastern US. So it is. I've got this heater, and the side effect of the heater is that I look at a screen all day and my eyes dry out. So I took a little um eye break. Hey, good night. Yeah, yeah. So we're planning out a couple of things I think that are going to be high priority for part three. Um, and we were talking about that most people probably want um, a humanoid for their player model, and this feels like mesh to motion is a great tool. I think that's a pretty high prior thing. So I think really of this list, I want to move up projectiles, mesh to motion. So, you know, projectiles. I don't know that we can do picking. I mean, this is a really important one too. I think everything except, yeah, I'd rather do projectiles rather than melee. I think this is just not going to make the cut. So I know there's a button I can press for strike through, and Google does not make strike through easy. They don't put it on the bar here, and I love strike through. Fuck, how do I do strike through? Format, text, Shift Command X. Really? X? Okay. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. We're Yo, how's it go? How's it go? How's it go? How's it go? Good. We're just kind of covering a couple of topics related to our plan for part three. So I think this is good. This is gonna be a wild. We're gonna try, I think, Node Tunnel, not Node.js. I think this is one I'm gonna experiment with on stream coming up, and then we'll get up. Excuse you, Google. AI at work, everybody. Embarrassing. Okay, at least it didn't lose. I cannot paste a link. Oh, what the fuck? It's a fucking link to a setup. That's really interesting. I do not want to. Okay, here we go. Close out the whole browser, maybe? It's taking our jobs. Okay, I really actually cannot paste a link. That is wild. Okay, let's see if I can type it out. Node tunnel. Oh, what if I do shift? Okay, tip, Google Docs. Shift Command V will paste without formatting. There we go. Got it. Shift Command V. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I've been learning about deep learning, the AI stuffs. Yeah. I mean, I know enough about AI to, you know, maybe I don't know enough. I see I have like two choices in my life. I could have gone really hard into AI, or I could have gone really hard into game dev. And I really did like, did I make the right choice? Oh man, I don't know. I think so. What you're passionate about is what's best. Yes, let's go with that. I think we're in the screw AI. Do what you feel like, what you love, and obviously, I love this stuff. I love making this content and giving back to people instead of stealing, making the plagiarize machine that completely ruins open source. So they just scrape all of the open source repositories and combine them into one giant mess, and then all the slop PRs go out to all the open source maintainers so that they have to manage an overwhelming flood of garbage. So they kill the open source. That's what I'm passionate about. Like, oh well. That's true. I do think like because I'm a programmer for work, I'm very focused on the code generation, the LLM side. Stay hydrated. It is a really weird time right now. Code generation meaning LLMs and these AI models are large language models or generative AI. And you can generate images, you can generate videos, and then you can do code generation. And that's the part that, what I produce is code day to day, in and out. And so that's the part that I pay the most attention to. Um, and the models have gotten much better in 1 year where they were not usable before. I'm going to be real. They just did not cut the mustard about 1 year ago. But now with Claude Code and, I'm using anti-gravity today. Um, yeah, we're going to make a fork of this or a clone that isn't here. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's why I waited to get into it. Yeah, I mean, so is there something you're studying for? Yeah, the thing on the dude eating spaghetti, Will Smith spaghetti meme has gotten pretty realistic, so it's really good at that those use cases too now. It's a little disturbing. I think what I can do is I can jump over here, go to the Godot, grab my P2P. No, this is what we need right here. So you're just curious about it then. You're not actually planning to go into it. I mean, that's a good way to be if you're curious about it. I wish I could have gotten into it, but the problem is that I'm someone who can study for many things, and then I said, okay, I'm just going to get into this. I'm going to study this really hard, and then I took this Andrew. What is that guy from Stanford who teaches Stanford Yang class? What is that guy? What is his name? It's not Yang. But essentially it started going like Y hat, and I started seeing stuff like this, and I'm like, fuck, I do not know statistics, algebra, calculus. I am so bad at math. So I I really wanted to learn how the models are built to around their current capabilities. I mean, that is great. I'm glad you're curious about that. I just felt like since I barely understood linear regression, like I'm like I can't. So I was like more on the ML ops, just like this sort of thing. It's like this is sort of where I was, but I'm still curious. I might end up running my own models or experimenting with it. I might do it on stream one day, but yeah. So the crazy part is if you look me up on LinkedIn, you'll see I actually worked with the scientists at in the ML play. I was a machine learning tooling developer here for Spotify. These custom AI ML tools for tracking training. We were doing legal and compliance and ML performance testing, and it was very interesting. But my heart wasn't in it. Yeah, they have a good business. Yeah. Hmm. Sorry, sorry. Got a hotkey for this. Boop. You used to work at maybe you used to Netflix or used to work there. That's crazy. Yeah, wild. Yeah, that is not an easy interview set. You must be like an elite code master. It was super fun. Yeah, I mean, it was fun in ways, but it was super dysfunctional in others. You know how it is at those type of companies. You know how it is. Now, what are we gonna do if AI eats software? What are we gonna do? I definitely don't want to have to study data structures and algorithms again. Although I do think it benefited me. You think it opens up the capabilities of engineers? Yeah. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, let's get in here. Let's get into this new project, this new old project. Let's check out. It's been a long, long time since I've been in here. Ooh, it's already suggesting something. All right, there we go. I'm more powerful. Bindings, socket, object. Is this the right word for this? Tutorials are helping me learn so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. I'm so glad y'all are here to say that. From my limited observation, the models are now freeing up a lot of the lower cognitive tasks that the engineers work on the larger tasks that orchestrate the larger picture. Yeah, I would say there are a lot of obs. Good night. Good night. Get better. Feel better. Yeah, there are a lot of observations to make. I'm still essentially collecting data on these tools, and one of my favorite ways to use it is actually just this inline completion type of thing because I have full control over the model instead of just sitting there and prompting, you know. But the orchestration tasks and the architecture are all outside of code. So they're just like human things and, organizational things and like resourcing and planning and writing and documentation and stuff like that. And like maybe those things are also being enhanced, or maybe those are the right things to enhance, but I still just like to write code. I don't know. It's weird. I'm wondering if I should rename this thing. It is a durable object. So what is a durable object? It's a special worker. Compute that server. Chat. That's what we're after. The chat app. Yeah. It's a lot of code though as well. Yeah. I just find that I think well in code, and like offshoring that to a prompt has been really sad. Yeah. I just hate prompt based engineering. I'm old fogey. What are durable objects? We may never know. It's tough. It's a tough time. It's a very, you know, um, interesting and rapid change. Change has never been faster. I don't know that it's all good change, because a lot can be argued that a lot of things that changed in the last 50 to 80 years of our nation's history have not been good changes for, you know, paving highways down central cities, turning, downtown vibrant areas into traffic ridden messes. That wasn't a great change. But yeah, maybe we can dismantle those. I don't know. This is rough. I've been feeling really down today because of the square new the square block. Seen in this whole thing. They laid off half its staff, and it is really not about AI, they're just completely lying because it's actually about the price of Bitcoin because their stock popped 25%, but 25% after hours. But if you look at their max, it's because their Bitcoin is so down. So they were on like a huge downward trajectory anyway. Yeah, and like the models, like they just like 1 year ago, the models were pretty bad. Today they're good. But yeah, this was disappointing news because I feel like this is my sector, software engineering. It can one shot a web flight game now. Yeah, I do believe it can, but how much is that? You know, training data. How much is that? Just like it able to. It can one shot Mickey Mouse as well, right? I think you can also get clone a web flight game. you know, I'm sure you could find a pretty decent one. So I'm never all that impressed with the vibe code, the Gen AI vibe code games. And yeah, is it maintainable and like um there's a book I really love, Designing Data Intensive Applications, and there's a opening page. What is it? Opening page. It's so pretty. This image in the front of the book. Here it is. That did not help me. Oh, there it is. We'll open this one. I haven't found that AI really helps me deliver reliable, scalable, maintainable code. Like, is it reliable or resilient? Is it fault tolerant? It definitely has some oddities. And then it's definitely not maintainable. But it has, yeah, it's gotten a lot better. So now I'm scared. I'm a little scared today. I guess AI knows what a durable object is. Why don't I just ask it? This is the storage API. That's why I want this. WebSockets, long lived. Oh, that's cool. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I can see it's a little autocomplete more than just a function call, but an entire idea. It's tough. So today at work, I actually took a build failure, and I think 5 or 6 tests failed. I just copied the failure and I pasted it in, and you know, and I think it's the first time I've done that straight up. Just like didn't even really read the failures, just told it to fix it. I mean, I didn't have to understand what went wrong with those tests. I did know that they were pretty basic, like can't find element errors, and I do think that they're well suited for tests because test files are like 1,000 lines long with all this extra context on. They're very repetitive. They kind of show the exact format you've got to do. They're very methodical. So I will write the code myself, and then they're pretty good at the tests. Oh, cool. RPC, we know that word. Interesting. Actor programming model. That's neat. I don't think I've done that here. I've read about that. Somebody told me to do all the actor model and it distributing away using. Okay, okay. I should learn more. I mean, This kind of feels a little bit like Zookeeper or something. Found more successful if you narrow the scope and give it more details. Yeah. And the other thing we learned recently is that if you repeat the same thing you want done twice, it'll actually, because of how the attention model works, have much better results if you essentially tell it what you want, fill in some extra context, and then tell it what you want again. So I've been doing that in my prompting. So there's a guy at work who's like changed his title in every system to say prompt engineer. Like he's not a software engineer. He's actually like literally fucking changed his title, and he's like the biggest advocate, the biggest go-getter, and the biggest token spender. So I'm just like I'm just not there yet, and I don't want to be. Maybe I put some more eye drops in my eyes and cry. But I am better at like institutional knowledge across the organization and a lot of other things, obviously. But do I go whole hog into something I hate? Maybe that's just work. Maybe that's just the work. There's this show Severance. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's the separation of work and uh, real life, and I could just pretend that I'm severed when I'm there, and I'm severed into a fucking person who loves fucking AI. I could just say like, every time I open up this laptop, just forget that you hate it. Can I actually get that done? I don't know. Can I sell myself? Oh my god, they have a page about prompting in the workers. Sisyphus, yeah, I mean, imagine Sisyphus happy, like that. And Sisyphus, imagine him happy. One must imagine Sisyphus. Is that really from Camus? I don't know. I guess that is. Let's ask. He is conscious. The task is enough. I think there's a game someone's making. It's essentially that, and he can get cool stickers and rocks on his. He can get stickers to put on his rock, and he's happy. The more he pushes. I can't believe they have a prompt section in the fucking docs for workers now. And all the examples have been changed to OpenAI AI fucking examples. It's over, boys and girls. It's over. Text to image. We've got another AI one. Deep breath. It'll be okay. I always liked where I worked, the place I didn't enjoy, and I found it better to find something else. It's so interesting because like I had this like dream job. You get your dream job, and then maybe a year later, it doesn't take long. It's just a job. Yeah, yep. Just sucks. I mean, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I relate too. Yeah, you're not the only one. I don't know. It's some toxic stuff too, toxic relationship because you worked so fucking hard and they, don't care. I often think about like, oh, could I have done anything different? And it's like, no, really, you're just a line on a spreadsheet. And I know for sure that they sort by your take home comp, like how much stocks you have outstanding, how much this and that, and then they just anyone that is above a certain or below a certain thing, that's they sort the spreadsheet by that. I've seen it happen. I know it. I know for sure because one of my managers told me, and they get to claw back all that stock award and tell the street they've saved X amount of money delivering the same service. Yeah, it's a sad thing. And that's why you've got to be more mercenary. I'm a little more mercenary about it now. I'm like, yeah, they don't owe me. I don't owe them shit. They don't owe me shit. I don't know that I can use this. I think it's too messy. Dream of mine is still Google. I mean, they do. You could do it. You could practice and pass the on-site, and you never know. Yeah, they do layoffs too, but they still hire. Their cash burn is fucking insane. I have infinite money glitch from advertising. 1010 would do it again. Yeah, I miss my old like big campus that I went to. Pre-COVID campuses were so nice. I don't know that the campuses have come back. I'm sure they have, but uh, yeah, that was an old perk for having to commute. Now I don't have to commute, so it's nice. But you know, I mean, it must be pretty like I guess exciting, and I guess if you're not like, I wonder, what it feels like at Google and how much. Microsoft said they're writing 33% of their code using AI or whatever. That was like last year, and that was absolutely bullshit. It's just so interesting that all these ones are they're the ones selling it. So how much do you believe them? What is the upper end, I think it's almost all integrated. Yeah, I wonder how much like a Google engineer, like how much engineering they do versus prompting. I have all the CI/CD chains set up with code review security documentation. Oh, so you think it's just a complete? They're just complete. They need nothing else though. Their CI/CD is so weird because I worked with some ex Google people at Splunk, and they brought over all the Google code review stuff called Garrett. I was just looking at this the other day. This Garrett code review system, it looks like it's from the 90s. It's garbage. The Ralph loop. Oh, you think everything just runs in a loop and they like are take I don't know. That feels a little dangerous. Why can't I get my git ignore here? There it is. Very interesting. Will there be any space left for people who are made of meat? Will there be any use for you and me? So I'm just kind of like average. I'm just like slightly above average software engineer with decent communication skills. So maybe I can make it. Or am I not going to make it? NGMI. Oh no. That's fine. Next, X Google Maps PV PM vibe coded Palantir and a weekend Palantir notice. Oh no. I'll have to watch that. Kind of curious. Let's pop over here. This one. Is this legal? Save it to watch later.
So I posted my latest coding project last night and woke up to it trending on X.
It's like being shared by all these people. Oh yeah, I vibe coded Palantir. Like we're replacing everything. Palantir's going down. I'm like,
Yep. This is Worldview, and it's what happens when you take real-time satellite tracking,
That's cute.
5 CCTV cameras, military and commercial flight data, and fuse it all together against a 3D model of the world, skinned to look like a classified intelligence system. Grok summarized it as ex-Google PM builds spy thriller geospatial dashboard. And
a little sensational, but looks interesting. But that's what sells. Very slick, very well edited. If I'm going to work on my YouTube skills, I'm going to need to do all that. Yeah, fun video. I still remain like, I don't know, healthily skeptical about a lot of those type of things. There's a PM that was hired onboarding junior devs to understand something. Oh, interesting. He's a PM. Did I miss that? Yeah, it says PM. Interesting. Okay. The AI just got it instantly. Well, are we fucked? Maybe the AI just got it instantly, and I'm too hard to teach. I'm getting old. Time to retire. One of my coworkers said that sanitation workers are hiring. Like, totally unironically told me that me at nearly 40 years old should become a sanitation worker. He said great benefits. It's rough. And now I'm looking at a message from my boss that's just 100% AI. I'm not even. He says, ignore those numbers from now or forget the otherwise hallucinated times. Okay. Okay. Maybe we're safe. Fuck. There's nothing happening in this project that's good. I really want to use no hub. But I have no idea how to make it connect. Good evening again. Regarding the Godot multiplayer tutorial series, how would you go about creating a weapon manager? The problem is I'm facing synchronizing the client server, since this is weapon instantiated in the player's hand and not in the multiplayer's spawner. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So I can open up a project and kind of walk you through how I chose to do it. And this took a ton of time. So you're in for a treat. It's going to take a while. But I do have this P2P. Basically, I was working on making kind of a Halo kind of situation here. And first, we'll go ahead and show a demo. And then I'll show you the approach that I took and why or why not you would want to take an approach like this. So I'll start this game. We've got red and green. Perfect. So you can see that the players here are spawned into a WebRTC connection, just like the one you may have done in the tutorial. And this one has some added things of syncing animations and a little bit of like up and down there, stuff like that. The interesting thing is the weapon manager. So you can see that I have a pistol, but I also have a sniper. And there's some funky stuff with the animations, but largely effects play. Oh, these decals gave me the biggest problem. I think there's a shotgun in here. I don't have it equipped in the weapon manager, but I give the player all the weapons, and then I just disable whatever weapon they can't have. So I never spawn them. They're just on the player permanently. That's the approach I took. So if we open up player and you can download this project and explore it, you could take as much as you can from it. It is as is. It's not going to work really well. I promise you it's not good. But this player has on him player input, state machine, and then inside his camera holder, if we look in here, we get in here on the left, weapon manager. Weapon manager has a weapon container. He has 1, 2, and if we wanted to, we could add more weapons to him. And we did in another game have more weapons. And there's muzzle points and reloading, ammunition, all this stuff. You can go and try and use it. It's not good. But there are shoot, and then we have like weapon resources. So this here on the right side, you can see I give players a pistol with all of the animation names and the ammo and shoot variables, reload variables, all this stuff. And then I give them a sniper, and then I give them the start weapons here. And you could reduce this number, but I like to just keep them all and then enable whether they're enabled or not. So they're just a child of this. This creates no problems with multiplayer spawners and stuff. Now, let's say you need to drop and pick them up and stuff and do all that. Well, you can basically have the model on the ground that just triggers adding it to the start weapons, or just does this, and then you pick like this. Or you can go crazy and like attach all the stuff, but like, just like have a point that you walk over in space that then adds this weapon. But you have to prepare all the resources here of all the possible things they have, and then you can remove the start weapons. I think this is a lot of work. It took me weeks. But it's mostly managed on the player itself and then synced out in the multiplayer synchronizer by showing visible or not on the weapons and what animation is playing. This animation player here is playing like reload. and that would be synced out. So, long story short, it's all here. And I don't think this is really robust, and I don't think it'll work for you, but you can try to learn from it all in this Godot client area in the game, weapons, assets, world. You can adapt this code. You've got to do a lot of reverse engineering. My UI stuff is pretty bad, but it works. I really want to like just go and rebuild all that, but I don't have time right now. But the general idea I did is keep keep a list of all the weapons they could have, keep a weapons that they currently have, and don't actually like have a physical instantiation of a thing. It's just more tricksy. Now, if you have like an inventory system that's more like Minecraft or Valheim, where you have like a number of usable items, I think you have to take a different approach. I think then you need to actually instantiate and stuff, and that feels more like a Minecraft type situation. But for an FPS, I'm not 100% sure. Happy Thursday, Godot enjoyer. We're very much all Godot enjoyers here. We are just mostly chatting about what we're going to do in part 3 of our multiplayer tutorial, as well as a little bit about this and that. Helped me a lot. I think it's trying to manage solve what I was trying to do. Yes, good luck. Yeah. Come back and let us know how it worked, what you found works. Share anything you might have. We will click links here. We're not afraid. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna cover projectiles and spawning a little better. I think we're gonna make like this kind of like wave shooter in part 3, and you just defend this kind of thing. I really like the idea of making a bow and arrow setup because guns are just kind of overplayed. But the nice thing about guns is that we could do hit scan or projectile. And hit scan, maybe we can do as a spell, like a lightning spell. That could be kind of fun. Which means like we would just raycast and just whatever we hit is what we hit. Lots of different approaches there. And we're going to be able to squeeze all this in. We got a whole hour to play with. Because my first video is an hour. So it's just kind of ridiculous. But yeah, we're going to add these mesh to motion. This is what I would use if I were to start a new project, is this mesh to motion. Yeah. What the fuck? Are you okay, Google? Are you having a laugh? How is your game going, the average Godot enjoyer? I saw that you are making a typing based game when I tuned in once, and has really cool vibes. I don't know if you're still here. It's got like left, right, which I thought was pretty clever. Yeah, no problem. Good luck. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, and this will be on VOD, you can come rewatch my short explainer and my caveats. So All right. Hmm. I think it'll be easier to do not that one, this one. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen Anti-Gravity yet. Yeah. Try it out. It's pretty nice. It's been pretty free. I need a lot of better error handling. That's mostly why I abandoned this project. Been doing local models. Wasn't sure if there was locking to Gemini. You can select. I imagine you could. I see this here. I don't know. I think there is a locking to it, but I think they give me a few free tokens per day, so I don't use it a whole lot. And again, I like to be in full control, so uh, I find that these um, models that autocomplete are nicer, but Copilot used to suck a whole lot when it started. The interesting thing about these models, and you may or may not know this already, but Claude Code actually doesn't support this at all. They don't support autocomplete. Like if I type in I don't know, I'm just doing this like to fixed there, it just instantly suggested to fixed. And yeah, I've been doing Claude Code. But I asked like, okay, let me have my Claude Code do this for me, this exact thing to fixed or and Claude Code's trained differently because this model actually will and the proprietary secret sauce is fill the middle, and it takes the context from before, the context after, and essentially splits it up and puts your prompt in the middle, and um, that is what these IDEs like Cursor and Anti-Gravity do. Claude Code fundamentally trained different. And there's one open source Mistral fill the middle model. So if you want to try that one out, I think it's Mistral RS fill the middle. Codestral. Yeah. Yeah, I was just like really disappointed I couldn't get Claude Code to do that. Let's see, what do I want to do? Interesting, we have a type error. Send a string buffer. Oh, so this is saying send. It does accept string as one of the arguments, but it wants to know for sure that it's a string. Oh, is it capital string? What's the difference between a string and a string? Not again. JavaScript, never again. What the fuck is this? Oh, this just seems wrong. I think this is a node thing. But what is? Oh, so this where is this coming from? This is a node, and this is a node library. What the fuck is this? Wait. The online models, I'm sure, are better than what I'm running. I just want to see in tech general. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the coolest tutorial I wanted to follow was this NBA basketball AI tracking. Like this looked pretty cool. Let's see if I can paste this in. But he goes all the way through the
We are watching
like
calculate obtain high-dimensional embeddings.
like this is sick. But the oh yeah, I forgot to show the overview.
Step by step using RFDETR,
This is really cool.
SUM tool, and small VLM. Basketball is tough for vision. You are watching a basketball play broken down by AI.
It seems like this could have more practical
Every player
uses
tracked,
than
every jersey number
a lot of things. So
read, every shot classified as made or missed. In this video, I'll show you how to build this system step by step using RFDETR, SUM tool.
probably like make my machine completely chug. What is this? This is a TypeScript string that I've never like. What is it? It does all these things. Fill string max length. This is not an actual string, right? Message. This is the problem here. Message. From string to string. What the fuck is string? Explain and how about you explain this to me, anti-gravity? This is very interesting. Wait, it edited it for me? It just jumped into editing? I didn't ask for that. What is the change? Oh, it's just... This seems like a big waste of tokens. I feel like I should... So we don't... This is defined. Actually, that's no initializer. These are all just TypeScript errors, right? Why would this be necessary? I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. This is the problem with all this AI shit, is that now I'm in the mode of like, okay, well, how come my TypeScript linter didn't catch any of this stuff, you know? Not this fucking folder. When it writes around it to make the error go away, but not fix the problem, yeah. I saw it today. I was talking about my tests, and it put an if statement in my tests. And it was like, if this isn't here, don't do any of this. I was like, I was laughing. I was laughing a lot. Love when it says checking documentation. I see cat defunct.md. Get him. That doesn't seem right. So you do Rust. That's cool. I really like Rust. Taught me a lot. I should get out of JavaScript and TypeScript, but like, yeah. I see. So I have an auto join existing lobby. I think this is where all of the potential with this project is. So the first thing I'll do is I'll fix this. Can I just do as string? That's fine. I mean, how does this not? Can I do that? Does that just fix it? What is this? Why was this ever not the right thing I wanted? Like, what is this function? Stringify. Should this return an error? No. Okay, that tracks. Okay. We don't even use this that much, right? Messenger null. So it always has to have a, you know, new message. This is such a mess. What did I do here? I've thrown Go, Python, JS, Rust at it so far. Yeah, I mean, the models are really good at like taking, one set of bits and fuzzing until they get, a translation. Essentially, they're just very good translating. Okay, that's not a real action, but that was pretty close. I don't have an error one. That would be a good thing to do, actually. Damn, we're learning. There it is. Wow, okay, we're seeing the power, everyone. We're going really slowly, but now this is just definite. It is not definitely assigned, and it's like, what is the actual fix here? Explain and fix. Use all my tokens. I don't care. I don't want to give it like a default because it's always going to be assigned in the constructor, right? Or maybe it's not because of the try catch. Oh, that's probably what it is. I think I don't need you anymore. Right? So if we go like this and we use the error one. Okay. I'm faster than the machine on one count. We can't do this, count. What? Hmm. Same here, probably. Yeah. What? Why is this double question here? I don't like that, but whatever. Garbage code. Garbage code. Yeah, I know they're not definitively assigned to the constructor. Can I just like ignore that warning? Apparently, I set this here so I could do. Yeah, I could do that better here, right? I mean, is this any better? Doesn't feel better. I mean, we don't even want to create this thing unless. What is the case where it's successful? Oh, the no validation case. Then we close it, so we don't. We just clean this fucking thing up. This is not a Is this a TypeScript error? It's not, right? Uh, okay. I guess we don't have a build. Interesting. Color live bandy. Client socket. These don't have to be there though. Hi, I managed to use the synchronize the cube without using the multiplayer synchronizer code. I only used RPCs. Ha 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 ha. Oh no, another person with my cube. I had another player talk about my cubes. It's a very complicated topic, but I'm interested to see what your experience was. You're now the second person who's like, "Hey, what's up with these cubes?" I should just do a whole like. There is a correct way to do the cubes. They're not correct. They were a vibe code sort of thing. While I was on stream, I was kind of like talking out. Oh, this was how I would fix this problem if I wanted to fix it, and I didn't actually finish fixing it. So, but now let me put that on my little to do list here. I have so many fucking to do list items. I keep linking to that tutorial, so I should probably like just freshen it up. But fix cubes on P2P shooter. I'm glad it helped you understand RPCs because there are some very very niche use cases there. It comes out to be that they really shouldn't be in the world tree because each person will get a spawned individual world with all the cubes in it. And when you have networked objects, that's really bad because no one has an owner over them. There's no authority. So it really should be in a multiplayer spawner and spawned by one authority, the host of the project. But I put this weird function in there called, I think assume authority or assume owner. Assume owner is a mistake. Don't do that. Fix that. Maybe I'll fix that right now. I just fix that right now. I'm talking about. Come here, cubes. You are now illegal. Where are our hittable cubes? Assets? Game assets. Huh? Weapons? Environment? Where are my hittable cubes? Where were they? World. Hit. Cube. Target. Holy shit, where the fuck? Where are you? What are you called? Hittable box scene. Hittable box. There it is. Misc. It's under weapons. Weird. Let me fix this. Okay. I'm excited to work on my project. It's only midnight. Go to sleep. You always do better work when you're well rested. So get that sleep. You'll feel so much better. You make progress. All right, we've added it to the spawner and deleted it from the world. And so now, if the player who joins is the multiplayer authority, that simple. But we should say func. Can we do spawn boxes? Yeah, that's fine. World dot spawn boxes, because these players. Let's see what we've got here. Player container. Good night. Yes, in the void. Good luck with the cubes. Yeah, we're gonna fix them real quick. In the VOD. I said void. Good night. Hittable box. Game, weapon, misc. Hittable box. Okay. We can do this here. It's better to do it here. Wait a sec. Do we set host to everybody? Does everyone know that you're the host? I am host. Multiplayer. That get unique ID. Okay. I think we might have multiple people think, well, might see this printed twice. Which would not be good. We're also gonna fix that. Oh no, I fucked up the weapon scene. That's funny. It's always great to do a live demo and put all these empty weapons in here. That's why you keep a clean console so you can see immediately. You should always keep a clean console. You can click here, ignore, ignore, ignore. Get back to a clean console. Okay. Restart real quick. Drink water. Why do I keep disappearing? Is my camera good? Are you a good camera? My lighting is good. All right, let's get down to business here. Okay. We have one person who thinks they're the host, okay? One person. That's exactly what we want, is one ID. We do not want two IDs saying they're the host. At least, you know. But the reason why we want one ID is because when we look at authority in our beautiful definition in the horrible Unity documentation, the best thing about Unity is just this one page. Multiplayer games are games that are played between many different instances. Each game instance has their own copy of the game world and behaviors within that game world. To have a shared game experience, each networked object is required to have an authority. The authority of a networked object has the ultimate power to make definitive decisions about that object. Each object must have one and only one authority. The authority has the final control over all state and behavior of that object. Right now, we have networked objects, meaning they're allowed to move, they need to sync, but they were in the world. They were very much in a bad spot because they were spawned in with the map. They were just like another item. This is a bad networked object because everyone who starts the game and starts this world has their own individual item. Now we're going to fix this by removing it and giving one person authority over all of the boxes that are spawned via the multiplayer spawner. So when I am host now, I can just do the same thing we do to every other networked object. Var new box equal boxing instantiate. Now we will distribute this and we'll say, I think for I in range I think we can just do 10 like that. And we can say world container. Well, this is the same container. I don't know if we want to put these in our player container because this is actually bad. So let's make a new multiplayer spawner. This is, not fun, but we're going to say node 2D or 3D. And we're going to say object container. This is just how it's got to be. Okay, and access as unique name. This was before we really did the access as unique name kind of thing pretty often, but what we want to do is assign a spawn path of object container. And the reason that we do this is probably because this project probably doesn't expect many players, any non-players in what's clearly called the player container. So we're going to go with the object container as our thing. So we can also access this at a unique name, and then I think we all know where this is going. We don't need the spawner actually itself because we're just adding it to this object container, and our multiplayer spawner sees that and does the rest, including our authority. True. Make sure you force readable name every time. That true has to be there, or else it's not a networked object. So I can remove access to unique name. It's a little messy, it's not an actual tutorial, but this is putting them all in the center spot. So we want to find the random range anywhere. And then what else do we want to do? We want to get we can grab our network script from our other tutorial. This one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab our scripts, network. Here's a nice randy range right there. We'll go over to our world, and we'll just roll the dice every time, whatever. It's really not that light. It's not really that hard to do. We could just kind of put these in here. It's a better way to do it. And you could concentrate them in a certain spot. And do, something like that. Obviously, it should be on this line. Let's see where that is. Maybe we'll just cut it down to 8. That might just be enough. Definitely need to add it to the auto spawn list here. Game, weapons, it's in this miscellaneous folder. Scenes, we established that. And hittable box. All right. So if we check on our hittable box, we can see that this assume owner happens every time someone shoots it. We can keep this because let's say the host drops. This project is in a mesh formation, so that means the host can actually leave and everything's fine. And at that point, the object, the hittable box, won't actually be syncing on everyone's machine, but someone could shoot it to assume the owner. So I guess we'll just allow that to happen. It might try to update itself if we can test the host dropping. We can actually see what happens. I don't know where these boxes are going to be. I didn't think about specifying an area. They could be like in the ground too, but we can inspect the node tree. See if we can find any. They could be like above us somewhere. No, I put them on y equals 1. But yeah, we're gonna have to go to the node tree and look, see where they are. Maybe I didn't call this player container. I see nothing in the object container. So does that mean the world is gonna need to, is this gonna need to be an RPC? I thought that if the system host did it in the object container, that was just enough. No, nothing in our debugger. Multiplayer authority. Oh, the multiplayer authority is 1 over this. Okay. Ooh, baby. Okay. All right. That's interesting. So I think we might have to do this as an RPC. And notice that the host, we're going to have to say, we actually are going to have to get our multiplayer spawner. I think we really want this to be right. We want to assume authority over this. And this gets a little tricky because now we need to assume authority on all boxes that are not ours to tell them that we're the authority over this. I don't know if that's how that works, though. I think we should just troubleshoot it with authority 1, but the problem is then all of the boxes are authority 1, and since we're in this stupid fucking mesh formation where all of our, this is why I didn't fix this in the middle, because all of our peer IDs look like this, but when we play the game, you can see that none of our people have the ID of 1, and that's the default authority. If there's a way to like just make the default authority one of these, it would be pretty clean. The other thing I can do is just try create server, you know, and I thought it was so cool to have like a mesh formation, but when I look at this and I go in here and I see players with these IDs, wait, my objects, what the fuck, they're here. What did I do? I didn't change anything. Did I just not save this file? Anywho, multiplayer spawner, if you look over here, it says multiplayer authority is 1. That means there's no, it's 1. And then these also 1. So who's really updating it? And I'll tell you what's updating. Nobody's fucking updating it. And the players only work because they assume authority over themselves when they spawn. And this is where the kind of the mind fuckery happens. But those things are not syncing. They're all probably like right in the middle of the map. They're probably like down there or under the thing, and I can't see them because the synchronizer, oh, there they are. They're working on my machine, which is not his machine because I spawned them. Yeah, okay. Maybe not as an RPC, but if this guy like pushes one, I don't know if he can even push it. Can he even shoot that? I can make it appear maybe for both of us if I shoot it. No. It's pretty interesting little experiments. Yeah, see, I knocked it over there with one of the players. It's pretty silly. Yeah, you get into stuff where you're talking about 2 machines desyncing because you don't understand authority. This is the example. So now I've got a problem here. Yeah, this is making sense now. So basically, this is saying like, oh, I don't see that. I'm sorry. It's not there. because nobody's peer ID 1. I'm going to try to take ownership over this thing with me, but the problem is this is probably not going to work either, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is the reason why you don't use mesh networking, because mesh networking, there's no, okay, I gotta convert that to int. That's fine. I could have just done this one, which is probably just the right choice. Yeah, there's a lot I would do differently after taking my own tutorial series, so. All right. Nope, they're still bugging out. Yeah, that makes sense to me, though, because we didn't RPC that out. So this guy shouldn't be able to see any boxes, I think. He's got the 8 errors in our console that are down there. Yeah, he can't see them. So what we'll do is await, get tree, create timer, just so everybody can hear this. I don't like this. It's messy, but we're going to go spawn boxes dot RPC. Communicate it to all our freaking friends. The problem is late joiners in this system might not get all the information they need. But this should do it like slightly better. And then we'll check our authority, see if our boxes have the player's authority rather than the authority 1, which doesn't exist in mesh networking. There's some boxes on this guy. There's boxes on this guy. It's interesting. Okay, cool. There's a bunch of errors, though, so I feel like we're not syncing these right. See how I push the box in front of him? He doesn't see it. Because it's closer. Because we each still have our own box set. And then I assume control over it. So now any box I shoot, I can get control over and then dictate where its position is. So you see how that box isn't there on this machine? I can't shoot it. I can't make contact with it. But as soon as this player shoots it, it pops into existence because now we have an authority for it. Same is true of this one. I can push it over to this guy. There's no authority. There's no syncing happening. We have a case where we don't have a shared world. But if I assume authority by, boom. It's a goof. It's a big goof. So what happened? Here's the other thing. So session didn't like this. Get multiplayer authority. I am not the authority over this. So I need to say, is it really like this? I think both of them tried to assume authority there. Let's try that. I think that reads to me, since they both had that, they were battling over the authority of the spawner, so neither one of them could really. Huh? What did I do wrong there? Do I need to just, is int not a thing? I can't cast it? I'm almost, Huh? Huh? I can't cast it on null, maybe. That's probably what it was. That would make sense from a language point of view. Okay. Oh, I see a box. I see a bunch of errors. That's not exciting. Can you see this box, friend? Can you see the box I'm standing next to? He cannot. But I can still assume it, and now we can both see it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, I have to assume. Maybe I have to assume this thing not in an RPC. Maybe I need to. Let's try this. Maybe it's just me. And I'm pretty sure that's always null on a non-host, so the extra checks weren't necessary, but this might. Still 8 errors. 8 errors is fewer than the number before, right? So it's closer, right? Yeah, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one. If I do it, if I got to set this up again, I would set it up pretty differently. But it looks like I'm pushing this thing and it's actually in view. I think we all agree on where the boxes are. Because we do. No, we don't. You don't agree. It's just 2 different boxes. You do not agree at all. Yeah, we can't have errors. That's why we keep a clean console. Okay. On spawn receive. Oh, call local, any peer, reliable. Yeah, that's correct. I think I have an idea. Instead of doing it like this, what if we get remote sender multiplayer dot get remote sender ID. Now whoever calls spawn boxes is the fucking boss. Okay? They're the authority. They called this from the host. There's no real host, so this is the problem. We don't have like a concept of like, oh yeah, 1. No errors? No! That was a good idea, but maybe it needs to be split into another RPC so that we assign the spawner and then yeah, I ain't got no boxes here, do you, sir? I don't see a box here. Let's try splitting it. Let's do this. Let's set off and then we'll wait another second. I don't know that these are necessary, but then we'll spawn boxes. I would like to get this working, but in principle, the idea is we need to assume control over that multiplayer spawner and then spawn the boxes. And I don't feel like this is like the worst idea that I've ever had. I think this is an idea that is conceivably decent on Nope. I waited I'm gonna take RPC off of this one. Try that. Because now that both peers would agree on who the boss of that spawner is. Did we do it? Let's go inspect some boxes, friend. I see a box here. Do you? Fuck. Hmm. This happens. Object spawner. I think we do need to RPC this. Now I'm going to inspect the spawner in the tree and see who owns it. Should be one of the players. Remote, world, object. Okay, the spawner says I'm owned here. This one doesn't matter. Wait a sec. Get rid of this. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. These are all multiplayer authority 1. Why? I wonder. I don't think I have to be authority over this too, though, right? This is a good way to do this, I believe. I'll try one more time. Maybe 2 more times. And then you're not going to be able to use this VOD. It's almost unusable. Wait, we kind of... I'm not going to be tricked. That's not one we both see. Okay, it's all the errors. Has parent. Spawn has received. It feels like they're not going into the same place or something. Like, object container isn't a networked object, so no, I have a multiplayer authority now. All right, well, how about the other player? The authority is all 1, but why? Why? I would assume here that... Do I need a custom spawn function? Is the authority of the parent just not the... This might be... So I just thought that setting the authority over the spawner was enough for me to win the puzzle. But I think just by inspecting that stuff, still 8 errors. And boxes are here and they're not there. So, yeah, I'm not seeing the same boxes. Yeah, that didn't do anything. What is this? Meat. On spawn received. Oh boy. I can't. Well, you know what? I could end up pushing this branch once I get it fixed. It has the node name. Does that mean there's... Fuck. That worked somewhat. Nah, I still got errors. Yeah, I'm just trying stuff and it's like they're not getting the same box. And the ID is still 1. So it's 711 on this machine. And it's 711 authority on this machine. We solved the authority issue. But we didn't solve it on the box. It's... Oh, why does this one say 11? This box says it's 1. This box says it's 1-8. This box says it's 1. This box says it's 1-8. What the actual fuck? Huh? Have I made some like grave mistake? What am I doing? This is a perfect example. It's doing something very weird because I have it. You see these boxes? This is a remote inspector of all the boxes in the machine, and so you can actually like bring up a thing, and it'll highlight which box you're on. But the problem is that each box has a completely different set of data. There's 4 of them, and it's like they're alternating fucking up. No, I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong, and I'm kind of in the... Yeah. We are, we don't allow errors here. We don't allow errors, but we do have a 3 strikes kind of rule where if we're tired and we're debugging and we make 3 simple mistakes, no console errors, baby. No console errors currently. And then we're going to figure out what went wrong. If this is truly... I'm going to go find the other player and stand next to them and see if we agree on boxes. I don't think we agree. Where's the other player? We do not. Okay, that's fine. It's closer. But yeah, we have a 3 strikes rule. If we make 3 simple mistakes, it's over. We should also check that this is called once. Because if we see that printed twice, we're in big trouble. Yeah. Do you see any boxes, friends? I see one there. I see a couple there. Do we agree? I don't think we agree on these boxes. No, I see them all on the wall. Ugh. All right, remote inspector once again. Object container, hittable box, has a multiplayer authority of 1, which shouldn't have that because everything is authority 116. All of these have 111. Why? There's no authority of 1 in the whole world. Or you just try a completely different tactic. And the reason why I wanted to do it this way is I was accounting for late joiners, which this multiplayer spawner should help with by spawning these in. But if you don't spawn them in correctly, so this says authority 116. So if I go over to the other session, open this up, 116, 16, and then 1, 1, 1. Huh. It's very odd. It's now a mystery that I want to solve, and it's a completely unnecessary side quest, and that's okay. Sometimes we do that. I could also put the multiplayer authority above the box, so I could just look at a box and see what the multiplayer authority is. Yeah, that could be a good idea. There's no boxes on this machine. This machine has 0 boxes. It's funny. It has 0 players too. I should have had my console up. That's definitely strike 2. One more strike, we're going to be ending the stream. You know, multiplayer is all about this rule of consistent, keeping things consistent across distributed systems. And what we have here, it's a preponderance of these cubes to kind of gather in the center there. I wonder what that's about. We could also narrow the range in which they're created to simplify testing. We could just do something here where we say, actually, what is, maybe this is the problem. Maybe this is the problem code and it's a secret problem. Because I've never done a thing where I get the parent. It's possible that when they enter the tree, there's no parent and it's just one, the default. No, it's correct. Honestly, baffling. Honestly, baffling. How on earth are we seeing different things now? Well, I shot that one, so it doesn't count. See all these that are messed up here. By the time these come in, that should be there. And now this is an RPC to control them, but I don't understand because I'm doing something unsupported. And whenever you're doing something unsupported, you run into these corner cases where you're just not playing by the right rules here. And you've got to probably take a step back and finish up the fundamental problem with your authority, but we fixed it there. And that's not how we want to fix it. So this is how we're going to fix it. We definitely need to tell everyone that we own this thing. And we definitely I don't think we need to RPC the actual spawning of the boxes. We should probably close the loop, make this a little faster to test, shouldn't we? But we're having fun. And like, this looks like it didn't. Oh, do I see 2 here? 3, 1, 2, 3. Do you see 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I was right. So my assumptions were like mostly correct around what needed to be RPC, what needs to be communicated out. But what I don't understand in this circumstance is that the answer is custom spawn function, because the reason why this fucking sucked is that multiplayer spawner apparently doesn't assign. I made an assumption that multiplayer spawner assigns its owner by default, but we had to take a manual step to do that here, and we had to RPC it out to make everyone agree. So interesting. No errors though. That's a Godot error there. Now, let's do something where we test with 3. And we're going to have the owner drop. And we should see an incredible amount. This is the owner over here on the right. We should see an incredible amount of desyncing in terms of there might be even a ton of errors in the console. Okay, we all see the boxes. We want to define a place for them to get dropped. Okay. Yeah, we're all hanging. We're seeing them. Now I'm going to drop from the this one. Quit. Boom. Now let's check our Godot. Our network might be going a little sad here. Oh no, they don't care because they're sending out updates from an authority that's no longer there. Oh my god, all the boxes disappeared. Huh? The fucking heck? If I leave, I queue free all my world, which queue frees my boxes, which queue frees on all the other machines. So you'd have to make custom handoff script there. I think we're done here. It sucked. And we're not 100% sure, but I think this is correct. This is right. I'm going to try it this way too. I'm going to try calling this here. If you could call this only on the authority. Yeah, yeah, we have this here. So this will catch. Yeah, so since my world got queue freed, I disconnected the player, and the world basically said the multiplayer spawner did take care of cleaning up everything there. Yeah. Now let's put them in a. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, there they are. Okay, that's good. Now let's figure out a place on the map we can put all these so that they're distributed well, and then we're gonna save this, maybe clean it up a little bit. But this location is. What is this location? Let's do a marker. It is negative z, positive x. That's what I believe that is. So, yeah, negative 25 z, positive x. So that's easy. So we basically say in our box range for x, we want to go positive. So we'll say 25, 15 to 25. And we'll do 3 point, let them fall from the sky. That's fine. And then negative z, we want negative 18, negative 30 or something like that. We can go like 30, 20, like 18. Let's see what that looks like. The cubes, we battled the cubes. We were partially successful. I don't like what we ended up with, but it functions without errors, and they distribute in approximately the same place. And it's not too distracting, and now everybody shares them. I can push them. We saw how bad the desyncing was when I was pushing them earlier. And then the other thing I do want to make while I'm here is I want to tune up the main menu. When you press this join or start game, we really just need only one player to be able to press it. All right, let's do that. So if two people press it, we can actually run into a race condition. Where does the lobby system host value get set? Apparently not here. So lobby create. We can't do this on ready. We can do lobby create here. We can just leave it disabled by default. And then if you're the host person, we can just do this. Let's do that. Then there we go. Good enough. All right. And now here's the other thing. When you start, we want to disable this thing again. Because a double press can kill us as well. And we don't have sophisticated way to kick all the players to the... Mm. I think you can do like this. How do you do like a... How do I just do like a double line funk here? I'm so in the weeds. I know this is possible. I'm crashing out. Is it really in Godot? And then it's like there is like a slash syntax that makes... Can I do this? Lua? No, this is a key value thing. I don't think that's like a GD script piece. That's JavaScript. All right, all this to basically say this has to be another function. Okay, func. This is really just what we're gonna do. Yeah, it's JS. I know it would work in JS, but there is a way to do it. I just have all these lambdas here. I was trying to avoid making a new function, but we'll just do it right. You gotta do two things. And we do have to do two things. And they're not that bad. And we don't need to call it with a lambda when it's like that. Let's do this. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Okay, that's enough mistakes, but let's just make sure that works and then push it up. All right, so when I create a lobby, I can start anytime. I cannot start the game. Fabulous. Can I start the game with one person? Hell yeah. I've never done that. That's cool. Get rid of this called once. Okay. This is not clean. This is not perfect. But the summary, we assume auth over this, and then only if we are the host do we spawn some boxes. The spawn boxes doesn't really need to be an RPC because the spawner actually will do some maintaining some RPCs out to the people who need to know. And then over on the hittable box scene, we have absolutely no clue why this works, and we will address it another day. We assumed that the spawner would be responsible, the responsible adult in the room, and assign that authority automatically, but that was an assumption on my part because it's always assigned one. But, you know, I was like, oh, if I can just update the spawning authority, then I'm fine. Fix hittable boxes, but not perfect solution. And we're going to wrap it up there. And then what we can do is we can take our project, export, so that we are in the final stages here. Export. Turn my heater off for the night. Run this last command. And then Butler, we're going to have to go back in our long Butler history and find when we were last working on this P2P project. There it is. And it has my old itch name. Andrew Dev is my new itch name. Fuck. I could have just gone to itch. Boy, I'm tired. I will see it. Yeah, it's fun. We'll see. We'll see. It's fun talking to all you guys. Bye night.